Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Community Matters show for tonight, Saturday the 2nd of April. For those of you that have just joined us, we're talking about a very important subject, a very important topic, a topic that well, not only us Bangladeshis, let's call it the subcontinent, seems to want to avoid and want to squirm past and finds it a very slippery topic. But I have got first generation Bangladeshis with me here, students from King's College, and they have decided to take this by the horn and do something about it. The differences between what's going on in how the UK deals with maternity and labour and how Bangladesh deals with it. So if you haven't seen the first segment, I promise you go back to YouTube when it gets released in a few days and see the inspiration that's driven them towards that route. Just to let you know, we have got the telephone line going across the bottom. We may not take calls in this segment because we've got a few videos to talk about, got a few campaigns that these guys have done and some of the work that they've done. We need to share all of this. So if you've tried to call and try to get through and you haven't been able to, please forgive me, we just want to get as much as we can. 1 hour is only so much you can talk about in such a good cause. Right, I'm going to go over to my far side. Labib, I really didn't get an opportunity to ask you a bit more about your involvement, but obviously you guys have all met through King's College, but I understand you're part of the Bangladesh Society of King's College, aren't you?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm actually the former president of the Bangladesh Society at King's from last year. And again, that's really where my sort of involvement sort of stemmed from, if you like. Because some of the work that we do, it's very community orientated. If I can give you examples, so we go into some of the local primary schools and promote healthy eating and healthy living to children, and then we go on to work with
primary schools in those that have like a big Bangladeshi
we try to mix it up a little bit, but again we do sort of focus on Tower Hamlets, again because that is an added bonus, you know, being from a Bangladeshi background, so sometimes it helps, you know, we're able to relate better to these children. And it's not only children that we work with, we work with people from the older generation as well, going to local community centres and care homes. And again, sometimes we might not even have an objective, but the main thing is, you know, we're there spending time with those from the older generation, and sort of just, you know, spending some of our spare time with them. And one of the main reasons for that is, I don't know, you know, these guys have probably heard the same thing as well. Famous quote from parents, carers, grandmothers, you know, so
true.
Exactly, yeah.
Those that didn't catch that, these guys are out to defy that. Carry on.
And so, again, it's that concern that, you know, this generation, you know, British Bangladeshis, which they like to call us, is that they're losing this connection with that older generation. And so a lot of this work was sort of, you know, involved in the local community. And this is where MAA came along. And I think sort of the best sort of unique thing about this is all this work, it's student-led. So we've got students at some of the leading UK-based universities coming together, you know, putting ideas together. This is the issue, what can we do about it? Let's go out there and make a difference. And so for me personally, sort of MAA came along and I saw that as a, you know, a way to be able to try and make a wider, a more sort of, a bigger impact, if you like, because it involves working in and around Bangladesh. And again, it could help to bridge that gap between, you know, those that are born here and, you know, Bangladesh itself. Because again, like I mentioned, you know, we're finding that we're, you know, maybe some of us, you know, myself included, are becoming a little bit less disconnected. You know, there might be a number of reasons for that as well. It could be simply the fact that most of your family are over here as well. Yeah. And again, MAA, it's the added bonus that it involves working in Bangladesh that really appealed to me. You know, to be able to take some of that work, you know, to the next level, if you like.
Okay, well, I've got a question that I probably should have asked you at the first segment, but I'm going to ask it now. We've been saying MAA to everyone, and we should probably explain to everyone that MAA is Maternal Aid Association. Have I got that right? Yeah. What was the odds, or did you actually plan to name it that and actually name it MAA because MAA is mother? You know, was it a complete coincidence or was that pre-planned?
There's a funny story behind it. The way we came up with the word MAA is a group of students, we went over to Tower Bridge and we got surveys out and we went to random strangers and said, listen, we're trying to make a maternal care organization up. What would you suggest? And we're just going up to random strangers and everybody had something with the word MAA in it. And we went to Bengalis and they said Amma. We went to English people, they said mothers. Everything had MAA in it. And when a newborn baby is born, one of the first words they say is MAA. And it's so simple and everybody just remembers it. And we were like, wow, this is the name that we need to stick with. And Maternal Aid Association just kind of came by coincidence, really, from that.
Oh, so it's pure coincidence. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. You travelled recently again to Bangladesh for the sake of Ma. Just give us tell us quickly how that went, and you know what you did out there.
So I went around December to Bangladesh for the MAA trip to document some pictures and videos to come over and to show the UK students of what I experienced the first time when I went to Bangladesh. And my cameraman was born in Bangladesh. He's lived there all his life, and he came with me into the maternal ward, and it was so bad. He said, Akil bhai, I need to take a minute out because I think I'm going to vomit. And that was the condition there in Bangladesh. And my team, who I took, they were medical students, but they were very young, and they were like, wow, I never knew that this was so severe. This problem for maternal care was so severe. So I established 2 MAA teams in Bangladesh, one made of students and one made of professionals.
Excellent.
And the whole point of the students is to bridge the gap between UK-based university students and Bangladeshi-based university students, so that we work towards one project with one aim to help Bangladesh's mothers and families. And when I went over there and I said, listen, you have a bunch of students working tirelessly to help the mothers in Bangladesh. They were inspired by it. They were like, if the UK students are doing it, I need to do more. And it was one of the ways of creating inspiration, really.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I guess it probably smooths me over, because in terms of now making people aware of MAA and what they're doing here in the UK, let's start with, because obviously you're looking for a lot of participation from Bangladeshi Brits. I mean, so tell us some of the stuff that you've done.
So initially when Akil came back and he told us how dire the conditions were there in Bangladesh, we thought we need to let everyone on campus and in universities across the UK know what some of the situation is. And one of the, I think, touching campaigns we did was called MAA. It's a Facebook campaign. If you go online and Facebook and search MAA UK, and it's where students in this country made a tribute to their mothers, and in terms of how of a support they were, how much of a backbone they are, how much they've inspired them. And I think it just went to show that mothers in this country can give birth and raise children and enjoy the pleasures of that. Why can it not be the same in third world countries such as Bangladesh, where having a child, you might need to think twice, you may not survive to see your child grow up. And I think we had a flood of people saying how important, how special their mother was. So we thought, let's take it a step further. So we went and did what we called the MAA Week, which was amazing. We had
when did the MAA Week take place?
So the MAA Week was around October, towards the end of October.
So the final week of October was MAA Week.
And it was a whole week dedicated to raising awareness of mothers around the world, showing our appreciation. And we gave a few lectures, seminars, we raised funds which we can use to tackle some of these problems. And more so, we were able to, alhamdulillah, with the support of the university, raise £10,000 in pledges, which we have still coming in today. And kind of raise the awareness. And as a result, we have other universities coming to us saying, we want to do this. We want to be able to support mothers in Bangladesh, such as Cambridge University and now Nottingham University.
Some of the people that came forward, and you know, of course, big gratitude and thanks goes to them for contributing and actually donating this towards you guys. Did any of them share any sort of experiences and what's probably driven them to come to you?
I think there was one particular incident I remember, and it was a student, and he mentioned the fact his mother passed away while he was very young.
Okay.
And it's the fact
not at birth,
no,
just while he was young, right?
And it was the fact that he felt sad and upset the fact that his mother was not able to see him grow up and do some of the amazing things he's done so far. And he thought, perhaps if he's able to donate, support this cause, then a mother somewhere else in any part of the world, it doesn't necessarily have to be Bangladesh, can see their children raise up and kind of be the apple of their eye. And that's what I think was the whole point of MAA for us. Is
as a treasurer, I'm going to gruel you, because the next question I'm going to say is now, you know, I think, obviously, I've spoken to you guys already, so I know what it's about, but obviously our viewers and our audience are now listening to this. When they, and I hope people do actually donate towards this. It's a beautiful cause, and you know, I'm sure if you've got an Islamic opinion on it, this is a great form of sadaqah. But you know, when people donate, what is that going towards?
I think it's important we talk about the team here. They've done excellent work, and in particular Amadou, who mentioned soon. The first thing we did was kind of document what are the most simple and cost-effective solutions to tackle some of these problems. We don't want high fancy clinics. We want something that can be sustainable, continue long-term once we come back and continue with the MAA in Bangladesh. And some of the most effective methods we found was education. It's such a powerful tool, and we're not too fussed how much money we raise. It's just using what we gain to be able to create books, give lectures, provide workshops in these rural villages to educate mothers about the changes the body may go through while in pregnancy, and also perhaps educate the husbands as well, who also have
Stuff that are taken for granted in this country.
Yeah. And that's why we're really here today as well.
Brilliant.
To use this for a simple, cost-effective, sustainable way to educate mothers in rural Bangladesh on pregnancy and maternal health.
Tell me a bit about some of the upcoming things for you guys.
So with the upcoming programs that we've got, I think this summer, actually is planning to open up an application process to also take a team from the UK to go over to Bangladesh.
Wow.
So what that will involve, again, coming from from Echo's experience from doing sort of focus groups, talking to people out there in Bangladesh, education is something that we can actually start utilizing, because it is a powerful tool. Some of the education, again, just to reiterate, involves teaching people just about the body and what happens to it and how it changes. But again, what's also important is educating the actual surrounding community. For example, interestingly, from Akhil's interview, someone in Bangladesh, as well as in sort of some of the studies, is that the husband's role is particularly important for the wife to start accessing the healthcare, to understand the benefits of going in and accessing the healthcare system and seeing the actual reaping the benefits from it. And so if you can sort of educate the community, you can sort of get a collective type support for the mother. And that will also, of course, aid.
Have you assessed any of your challenges? Because I can think of one of them straight away.
I'd like to hear that.
Well, the most obvious thing is how do you actually grab them and bring them in? Because they'll be like, oh, taboo subject, you know, no, you know, how?
Yeah.
So what is your plans in sort of getting people to actually embrace it and not treat it like Voldemort, as I've said?
Yeah.
It's the incentive.
Okay. So what was that?
It's the incentive of the health camp. So what we're going to do is hold a health camp, and we're going to give free workshops like blood pressure, blood sugar checks, and we're going to say that there's UK students coming over and who want to give you health checks, and when they come in, and then we'll provide the workshops, and that the health camp is an incentive for people to come in, because who doesn't want to get...
Actually, because in UK you think, well, no, I don't want to go and get my health check done, it's free, but in Bangladesh they pay for it, so the fact that you're going to give them a free health check is what's going to drag them in, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Sorry, we were going back and forth, but that's me being very inquisitive. Have you got things coming up in the near future that you know as part of your campaigns and awareness?
I think that's part of the main. That's the main coming program, which is to take over students to Bangladesh. We've also got fundraising sort of campaigns going on. So other universities, I said earlier.
I mean, actually, before we've got a few minutes before we're going to break, but we've got a video, and we're going to roll that video whilst I talk to these guys. But this is probably more an awareness, isn't it? So, yeah. Sorry, carry on. You were saying about the...
I believe Cambridge University have got into contact with MAA, so they'll be also supporting MAA, as well as that Nottingham University have gotten involved. So we're sort of getting national support now. So everyone's eager to actually support our own country.
Okay, I mean, the video was just shown, or an image of it was just shown very shortly. I mean, what are you showing there? Is it the differences in the facilities in the two countries?
Exactly.
Yeah?
So the differences in the facilities, as you mentioned, and also the fact that as medical students, I think everybody would appreciate that when you go see a patient, the first thing you do is you close the curtains, because privacy is such an important thing. But if in the video you'll see that there's no curtains. Everybody's there sitting down in the bed, and everybody can see their state of condition, and that is such a sad thing to see when I went there. And currently MAA is linked with a health complex in a village that we're planning to work with. And another incentive for people to come in is that all the mothers who are coming through, all the pregnant women who are coming through that health complex, their numbers and their names are being jotted down, and they're going to be called this summer when we go over to Bangladesh. They're going to be called saying, listen, this is this workshop specifically designed to help your stages of pregnancy and beyond, delivery and neonatal care. We advise that you come in, and that's one of the reasons why mothers should be coming this summer.
So you've already got the engagement there from the patients.
Yeah.
Okay. There apologies on the technical side of the video. We'll probably have a look at that in the final segment. But there you've heard it. I mean, there's already patients there that are part of this program, part of this project, and are going to be called up. And hopefully these guys and their great project here is going to engage in them. So those of you've heard where you can get in touch with them. Facebook's there. Have a look at it while you can. We're going to go for a quick break. In that break, if you can have a look at Facebook and see what's going on with these guys. Come and join us back in the final segment when we look at a few more videos and a few more stuff about what they're doing. I'll see you in a few moments.
Thank you.